Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, Cooking for the Family. I'm Dyvonne and today I'm going to share with y'all how I make my buttermilk biscuits and gravy. It comes out so good. I was taught by the best, my mom and my aunties, how to make great biscuits, how to make wonderful sausage country gravy. You ready? Let's get started. So first we're going to work on our biscuits, and we're going to be making some buttermilk biscuits too. Now in the description box below, I will have a list of all the ingredients that you need to make this delicious buttermilk biscuits and country sausage gravy. But what is most important is how those ingredients come together to make a wonderful breakfast meal. So first what we're doing is we're going to start off with using some unsalted butter as well as using some vegetable shortening. Now my butter and my shortening are both ice cold, and that's what you want to be working with when you're making your biscuits from scratch. The biscuits will come out flaky. They'll come out so good with the texture and the taste. It will just be spot on, y'all. And so what you want to do is, I'm using my bench scraper here. You can also use a pastry cutter as well, or either a knife to just dice up your shortening and your butter into small pieces. But we're going to continue to break those down once we put them into our flour. So in my bowl, I put in 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and I also put in a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. I went on and put in my butter and my shortening. But y'all, I got so excited, I got a little ahead of myself. And normally I go in and I put all the dry ingredients in before I put in the butter and the shortening. So definitely you want to do that. But like I said, I got a little excited, got ahead of myself. But it's all good because the biscuits are going to come out great too, y'all. So anyway, I put in a little bit of baking soda, and that was a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and we also put in 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Next, we're going to put in some salt, and we're going to put in 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. So we just needed 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. You want to go in and mix everything around just like I'm doing there. And then next, what you want to do is use the cook's best utensils in the kitchen. And that's our nice clean hands. And I'm going to tell you what my mom told me. She said you got to get in there. You got to get your fingers in that dough, in that flour. You start breaking it down with your fingertips just like I'm doing there. You see how I'm pressing with my fingertips, and I'm just running the butter and the shortening and the flour. You pressing it and mixing it all together till you get like a cornmeal consistency. You're going to have some few chunks here and there of the butter and the shortening, and that's fine. But you really want to break it down and integrate that into that. And next what we're going to do is we're going to put in our buttermilk, and we're going to be using 1 cup of buttermilk. When you're using your buttermilk, be sure that you want to shake it up prior to using your buttermilk, because sometimes the buttermilk can settle. So be sure to shake it up in the carton before you add your buttermilk in. Next, I'm going to use my my rolling mat, and I love using the silicone mat. Then again, we use our fingers, and I'm just using the tips as you see, and I'm working it around just like I would like if I'm using like a giant fork. And you want to continue to work your dough until the dry and the wet start to become incorporated, and you start to end up forming a ball, and you're going to have this sticky ball that's going to start to form, and that is the base. That's going to be your wonderful sticky dough. Sticky dough make great biscuits. And just keep moving everything around. Then I go from just using my fingertips to then using my palm of my hand, and I'm pressing. And then you want to take that ball of dough that's formed, roll it around all in your bowl to make sure that you have gathered up all of the flour, all of the butter, and the shortening. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to use our rolling pin and also a little bit of flour. We're going to be kneading our dough, and this is going to be important because you really want to work and knead your dough. You don't want to do it too long because we don't want our biscuits to be tough, but you do want to knead it, and this is how you want to do it. You see how I'm using my palms, and I'm pressing the dough and pushing it away from me. Then I fold it back onto itself, and I bring it towards me. And if you're familiar with, like in school we learned how to fold like a letter to go into an envelope, it's like that kind of a motion where you're pushing it, you're folding it like a letter, pushing it, folding it. This is going to work the dough, bring up that gluten, but in addition to that, it's also going to give you those nice layers, the layers in your biscuit. And then also your dough should still be cold because we had the cold buttermilk. we had the cold shortening, and we had our ice cold butter as well. Then I use a little bit more flour. I'm going to put it on my rolling pin. We're going to roll out into a round circle, and we're going to roll out our dough to about an inch high, half an inch to an inch high. No smaller than a half of an inch. Our biscuits are going to puff up nicely, and we are going to have some nice height to our biscuits. And so once we have it all rolled out, just like I'm doing there, and I just kind of rotate it, and like I said, that thickness is going to be about a half of an inch thickness when it comes to rolling out your dough. Then I take my handy dandy cutter that we have here to cut our biscuits, and this is going to form, and you're going to make around about 9 biscuits you're going to get from this batch of dough. And I just go in and cut them out, put them to the side. Now while I'm doing this, I have my oven. It's preheating on 450 degrees. Now if you are new to my channel, welcome, and if you're a returner, welcome back. And I want to thank all my wonderful subscribers for your thumbs up, your good vibe comments, your positive energy. I truly enjoy sharing what I cook and bake in my kitchen with all of you. So I invite you not to be a stranger and hit that subscribe button. It's free. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish up our biscuits, and once you have your first round cut out, I go in and reshape my dough. We're going to go on and just get it back to that half an inch to about 1 inch height at the most. I roll it out again with my rolling pin just like that. Also, our biscuits are going to bake from about 15 minutes to about 18 minutes. Also, our biscuits are going to rise nice and high, and around the edges, it's going to be nice and crisp around the edges, nice and fluffy and soft in the inside. And so what we're doing is, there's 2 different ways that you can situate your biscuits on your baking tray. One way is if you have your biscuits all gathered together and the sides are touching, you're going to have soft edges. If you have your biscuits separated on your baking tray, you're going to have a little bit more of the crispy edge. Today, we're going to have that more of the crispy edge. And so I have here my baking stone. I'm going to situate the biscuits right on top, just like that. We're going to put some distance between the biscuits, about an inch or so between the biscuits, just like I have here. We're going to put them in the oven and let them go on and bake up. Now, while our biscuits are in the oven baking up, we're going to go on and start on our sausage gravy. This delicious country sausage gravy. We're going to be using half of that package because that was a 2-pound package. So we're going to be using 1 pound of the sausage, and I'm using the pork breakfast sausage. You can also use turkey breakfast sausage if you prefer. If you're using the turkey breakfast sausage, sometimes you're not going to get as much as the juice, not as much as the drippings that's going to come off of that sausage because it's a lot leaner. And so you will need to add a little extra butter when it's time to make our roux to go on and make the gravy. But in the description box below, I will put that alternative for you as well if you're going to make the turkey breakfast sausage. So you want to cook your sausage until you have no more pink and it is cooked well. I have my flame on a medium heat, and you just go on and mix everything around, and you see you have those pan drippings that we have there from cooking our sausage. That's what we're looking for. Now to this, we're going to go on and we're going to add some butter. And we're going to add 2 tablespoons of butter, and we're going to be using unsalted butter. And we're going to put the butter directly on top of our sausage, and we're going to let the butter slowly melt and blend in to the pan with the sausage and also with the drippings from the sausage, and just move everything around just like that. Divide the butter in half so you have your 2 tablespoons right there, and just keep moving everything around until your butter has totally dissolved. Then once your butter has totally dissolved, then we're going to go on and add our flour, and we're going to be using 1/4 of a cup of flour. So just 1/4 cup of flour that we're going to add to our pan. And we're going to blend the flour with those drippings of the butter as well as the drippings from the sausage. And with the sausage, you just want to mix it around just like I'm doing there until you have no more white flour showing at all. And you're going to let this cook for about 3 minutes because we want to cook off that flour taste. And so that'll just take like a few minutes to go on and cook down. Also, you're going to want to turn your fire down. So right now my fire is on like a medium low. And so you just keep mixing and blending, and you're going to have a little bit of fond that'll start to form in the bottom of your pan, and you want that to form because that's going to also help to make a nice rich country gravy that we are making. And we are putting in 1.5 cups of milk. Our biscuits are actually ready, y'all. Let's go on and take them out of the oven and see what they are looking like. My timer went off on our biscuits. They have baked up for 15 minutes. They are looking so good. It's gonna go great. These biscuits are gonna go great, y'all, with that gravy. Let's go on and finish up our gravy. So next what we're gonna do is we're going to add some half and half. So we added 1.5 cups of milk. Now we're gonna add 1 cup of half and half. This is going to take our country gravy, this wonderful sausage gravy, over the top. It is going to make it so rich and so creamy and so delicious. And the reason why I'm using the half and half, y'all, is real simple. I was using only milk before, but one time when I was making this recipe and I was making, making breakfast for the family, well, I did not have enough milk. I thought I had more milk, but I didn't. And so I had half and half. And so I just substituted the half and half. Love using the half and half. So I use the 1.5 cups of milk and then 1 cup of half and half. Makes a beautiful, rich, creamy gravy. And so now I'm going to go on and I'm going to turn my fire up just slightly to more of a medium. I'm going to let this go on and start to boil just like it's doing now. Once you see that, it's also going to start to thicken up on us. We're going to go on and add some seasoning in. I added in a teaspoon, just a half a teaspoon of salt, and I added in 1/4 teaspoon of fresh pepper, of black pepper. Go on and give it a nice stir, blend it around, and then we're also, and as you see, it's thickening up here, and we're going to taste it for seasoning and see where we're at with our seasoning. And I started with the 1/4 teaspoon of the black pepper and a half a teaspoon of our salt, but you can definitely start with a little less and just kind of build it up based on your taste. And so that is what it's looking like. Let's go on and taste it. Seasoning is spot on. It is so good. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm going to go on and serve us up a plate of this biscuits and gravy, and we're going to go on and enjoy our breakfast, y'all. Well, this is our plate of biscuits and gravy. It is looking so good. We did not skimp on the sausage, y'all. It is all up in there. It is looking so good and tasty. Let me go on and get our bite ready. Oh my goodness. These biscuits are so nice and fluffy, y'all. The biscuits and gravy is enough for a family of about 5 or 6. If you want a little bit less, you can always go on and cut the recipe in half. I'm going to get our bite ready though. This right here, that bite is for you. Right there, I'm going to go on and give it a try. Oh my goodness, y'all. This biscuits and gravy, this just takes it all the way there. This is on the money, y'all. Well, I hope you give this recipe a try. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, what are you waiting for? Go on and hit that subscribe button. If you like this video and appreciate the content, don't forget to show it some love. Give it a thumbs up and click share. Share this video with a friend or family. And click that notification bell so you never miss out when I share what I cook and bake for my family in my kitchen. Well, that is it for me today, y'all. And remember, it's always good when Dyvonne is cooking for the family. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.